I've been told that there are fake counterfeit Saroyans being sold on the internet. Is this true?
We've actually purchased some.
You have? What do you think of them?
Just to see. Well, they kind of look like us, okay, but there are significant differences in what they are.
Oh, wow.
And probably how they're made, okay?
Okay.
But
these are them.
They don't say Saroyan on the ad itself, but it kind of uses keywords that would be similar to what people looking for Saroyans would probably use.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't claim to be a Saroyan, but it's a pretty good copy of the Nefertiti down to the Saroyan logo as well. Okay.
So whoever made these must have built it from your finger symbol.
Somebody reverse engineered the piece from taking our zill and then finding the shape, finding about the right thickness, finding about the right metal, and then making a photocopy, in a sense, of the design and translating that into a die.
As horrifying as that is, they say, right, it's the sincerest form of flattery, right?
Yeah,
so congratulations, you have counterfeits out on the market.
And there are several, this one and the arabesque, the small arabesque, are fairly common, and there's knockoffs of those around.
Okay.
And that's similar to what happened with the Saroyan swords, was that there were knockoffs of the original sword, including the same dragon handle that was, actually they probably bought one and cast it, and made a casting from that, and made more from that casting of the sword and the handle. So this has been going on for a long time, and a lot of loyal Saroyan friends have shown us these, and seen them, and told us, hey, these are fakes or whatever, and we found them on our own.
Oh my! So it's like Amazon, eBay, that kind of thing, or
Etsy, that kind of thing.
Etsy, too.
Yeah.
And is there anything you can do about this? I mean, obviously they're like stealing your designs.
Well, we would have to invade a foreign country and take over their manufacturing to get that to stop.
Yeah, you probably don't have time to do that.
No, we're busy.
Okay.
Making our own sales at this point.
Right.
But there are several things that are significant right away. Number one, they came in a package that looks like this.
Oh, okay.
But that's not our packaging with how we're currently going to market.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and they also didn't buy them from us. Okay?
No, they're not reselling yours.
Yeah, so they're not a reseller. And on our website, we've got all the zills, and we've also got a list on the Friends of Saroyan page about who we work with internationally.
Okay, so if people are interested in supporting Saroyan and they want to make sure they're buying from an authorized reseller, they can check that on your website.
They can check that or contact us. There are troops that buy zills and the teachers sell to their students. Okay, those aren't all necessarily on that list, but those are Saroyans, and you can tell by the packaging.
Wow.
So the zills themselves, there were several different things that we saw right away. Number one, there's this rim on the back. Yeah. There's an indentation that doesn't exist in ours.
What do you think causes that? Is that just something about the dye they're using?
That's the way that the dye was made. Okay. So here, that's the other thing that I noticed right away, but I spent a lot of time with this, is the surface texture is much smoother on our piece.
Yeah.
And that's just a function of the kind of metal and the kind of finishing that they're doing. Okay. The other thing that stands out is that this detail around the center is much more prominent and is much cleaner looking than ours. Ours was not meant to look like that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like thicker lines or something.
Lines.
Yeah.
Now, the stamping of the design is meant to represent what an engraving would look like. And an engraving is where you take a metal tool and scrape away at the metal to create a design by scratching away at the surface and creating an indentation. We're doing that by the dye's pressure on the metal itself, okay? But what I noticed right away was that the thickness of the lines on ours are thinner and cleaner than the surface of and the edges of the lines in the suspect
in the phony zill.
And I think what's happening is that they're having to put more pressure on, and the way they've created the dye actually acts more like a stamp, so it's creating an indentation versus a cut line in the surface.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Now, the other thing is that the tone is different. And lower.
Yeah.
Okay. So on our website, we've got the Sounds of Saroyan page, which lists every set and every zill type we offer with a sound file. So that's one way to find after the fact.
Once you've got them.
Oh, wait a second, I've been taken here.
Right.
And so the tone is different. I think that's a function of the shape and the metal that they're using gives it a different tone. It looks a lot like ours. It looks a lot different than ours to the trained eye.
To the but even like I know your zills inside and out, but like without seeing them side by side, it would be pretty difficult to catch.
And when you're buying them on a web page with pictures,
right?
You got to go with what's there, and that's giving you even less information.
Absolutely. So the easiest way, like if the picture online is not very indicative. But luckily, you said the listings that you've found anyway don't ever say Saroyan. They call these Nefertitis?
I don't think they call them Nefertitis. I think they've used a variety of broad terms, including tribal, and they threw a bunch of keywords into the description to kind of draw people to the page, basically.
Okay.
So, but that's what we found, and it's like you said, it's kind of interesting. It's somebody spent some time, but not as much time as we have over time, let's put it that way,
right?
To create these. The other thing is that the elastics have a rubberized coating on one side.
Are crazy, yeah.
And it's a very different, so it's a rubber coated surface, and they're typically tied off.
They come already elasticized?
Yeah, it had elastics on there. It came with a nice little bag. But again, the packaging is kind of the key difference there.
No, this is super useful because I think obviously people want to support your company. I love that you and Virginia and your family. This is like a family-owned business. You all put incredible amounts of time and effort and detail into what you do, and you're preserving a legacy as well. And so it sort of breaks my heart. Like, I get it, this happens all the time, right? But I'm so glad that you've caught it and you've found this, because I know people everywhere, dancers everywhere, want to support this U.S. owned business, this small craft business. And so watch out for these people. Like, I guess if you're I'm assuming these are probably cheaper, right, than what you could buy from Saroyan, right? And so people are go to eBay
and the price point is what attracts people to it. We have a lot of people that visit us at shows who come and say, hey, I bought something off of online somewhere, and now I want to buy real zills, okay? And because we heard that a number of times, we created a product line called the Prelude, which is a entry-level, inexpensive, lightweight product, mainly to give us a foothold in that marketplace,
right? And
to put the Saroyan name out there in a place where generic, from a variety of locations, zills were being made and sold around the world. From
experience, I can say, and I've had my students say who've played like whatever zills for a while, like whatever they found on Amazon for $10, and then they switch to some quality made cymbals. They're like, oh, they're a lot easier to play. They sound a lot better. So I say sometimes it's not necessarily user error that's making your zilling not fantastic. It's like the instrument you're playing.
Working with,
and so it's definitely worth it to get a quality pair. And I'm glad that we can sort of, let people know to watch out for these things that are not you.
Well, like you said, we've taken a long time, both with Harry and starting the business in 1970 and us carrying it on for the last 8 years. We look at ourselves as being in the musical jewelry business. So we have a look and finish, but also these are musical instruments, and so we're very watchful of the tone and the consistency of that over time by each product. And with 46 different designs, we have something for everybody.
I see. So if someone wants to go out and they want to buy finger cymbals and they want to be sure that they are Saroyan, obviously they can come to your website and then they know for sure. But if for any reason they're looking elsewhere, because like you did say you do sell on Amazon, are there any other places where they can find them online other than Amazon?
There's online, people like BD.com and a variety of other vendors around the country and around the world have them. And the best place is to start with the Friends of Saroyan list and see if there's somebody close to you that gets them. There's a huge word of mouth supply chain, and we ship to drum shops in Japan and teachers and students around the world. There's the only place we don't have the zills is in Antarctica currently.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're in Antarctica looking for zills, they'll just have to.
You have to bring them with you.
Yeah, well, that's good to know. Well, thanks for letting me know. I mean, because friends don't let friends play knockoff zills, so just don't, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be definitely keeping my eyes open. I always buy directly from your website. It's just the easiest place.
We appreciate
funnest.
your
Oh
support.
my gosh, of course, absolutely. Well, thanks for letting me know, and y'all watch out out there. Watch out for that.